Hi there all. I did actually shoot this last week, but it was actually in one piece. So I thought I'd do a bit of a walk around of the Hypermotard, although this kind of, in a bit of a weird way, isn't the best way to kind of look at it, because the RSV and the Honda are the clothes horse for the bodywork. But it does probably give you an idea of all the things I've done to it. So I'll try and be as methodical as I can. It's not I've done to it. A lot of the things were done to this when I got the bike, but I have done additional stuff as well. So I'll try and work from the front to the back, because the amount of mods this thing's got on it, every time I try and do a video on this I always forget something, so I'll try and be as methodical as I can, so not in any particular order. So it did start off life as an 1100 Evo SP, but it's had, I say, quite a bit of stuff done to it. So I'll go from the front. First thing, used to have a silver set of Brembos on it, but I bought some black ones and sold the silver ones for pretty well the same price, just to get the colour match in. Moving up to the front, to the hand gear, it's got Behringer brakes and a Behringer clutch master, which I think are really nice. They just happened to be on there when I got it. They were bloody expensive because I've got the receipt for them. But what's nice is you get the catch tank, the reservoir on both of them in the top, so it cuts down on the little bowls of fluid bobbing around when it's being gassed. Heated grips, as you can see there, and a gear change indicator. One thing that is missing off of the front of it is the indicator lights. Now the indicator lights are all the way over here. This is the reason why things apart. Is these indicator lights, as you can see, I don't know if you can see in there, you've got like a lower indicator set and a upper driving light set. So what happens with these, there's a guy over in Sweden that makes them. It's a very nice guy. He makes them by hand. Essentially, when the bike's on and running, you get the running lights, and then when you switch the indicators on, the running lights go off, the indicator goes on, and when you cancel it, automatically goes back. So you don't have to think about it, it just does it all. And it's a really nice upgrade, just a bit more polished sort of thing. Brings the bike up to date a bit, because it's got like a set of LED running lights, but it looks all OEM and kind of integrated, so that's really good. Moving down, the engine is Cerakoted, the crank is balanced, and I'm not going to say lightened, I think it's been balanced, but to be balanced I think it was lightened, but I might be wrong there. The whole engine is Cerakoted from the crankcases up. That there, as you can see there, so that's after, I think the engine was done about 3 years ago now, maybe 4 years ago. So as you can see, the Cerakote is held up perfectly. There is no cracking, no paint coming off, no anything. So if you do Cerakote stuff, it lasts really well. The pipes, the header pipe's Cerakoted, and as you can see there, it's got, I think these are called Friend Tubo oil lines, because the original oil lines, all the chrome plating came off and they look really scrappy, so I thought I'd get some alloy ones. I think they came from Italy at the time. They've been on there a few years. Moving up back a bit, it's got a slipper clutch on it. I think it's just a standard Ducati Performance one. I got it off of one of the guys on the Ducati forum, because he couldn't get on with it. Said he couldn't get it to work properly, but seems to be fine with me, although it does need servicing every 1,000 miles or so. So you have to strip it down, oil it all, clean it all out, and then put it all back together, which doesn't really bother me because I'm kind of quite versed in now, so I can do it in about half an hour. It's not very, it's no biggie. Right, move it up a bit. Set of K&Ns on there. The bike's been on the dyno. I think it makes about 98, 96, 98 on the dyno. As you can see there, there's a Denali sound bomb, which is the loudest one they do, so the compressor's built into it, which I kind of like having now. Where the tank goes on, this is obviously where the airbox used to be, but now the airbox is gone, you've got like a great big sort of hollow bit inside the tank, which makes this even louder, which is great. So air filter, crankcase breather, which just goes with the K&N set. One of the actually, just to say, the reason for this is electrical work. So I've bought one of those additional fuse boxes, because over the years where I've added in the power cable in for the running lights, and I've added in the heater grips as well. Forgot to say that, heater grips, gearing changer, and I've kind of, at the time I've done the electrical work for said part, I've just integrated it in. So what I'm doing now, as you can see here, round here is quite a bit of a mess, and this is the relay for the Denali sound bomb, because that draws so much power it needs its own relay. So the idea is I'm going to put a fuse box about here and then tidy up all the wiring and integrate it into the fuse box, so it's all kind of, you know, for want of a better phrase, OEM looking. Coming towards the back, there's a Bitubo three-way shock. If I just move the wiring loom out of the way, there you go. So there's a Bitubo three-way shock there, which was my 50th birthday present to myself, which is a lovely bit of kit. I thought I wanted to go a bit different, because obviously the front forks are just the standard Marzocchi ones, so it wouldn't matter if you had an Öhlins. It's not like getting an Öhlins to match Öhlins forks or anything, so I got the Bitubo. Moving up, the other reason for this take apart is this is a freshly Cerakoted Uberlite alloy subframe, which you'll just have to believe me, but the original subframe I think was 4.1 kilos, 4.2, it was sort of hovering around. This one wouldn't even register on the bathroom scales in the house because they're digital, so I'm guessing probably about 1 or 2 kilos this is. But I had to get it Cerakoted first because all the paint was flaking off at the back, so that's Cerakoted and now ready to go, hence the reason why it's all in pieces, because I was doing the electrical work as well. What else is there? You can't really see it, but there's a rear tail part. I'll do another video when it's all back together, but inside the engine, in fact I'm just trying to hopefully not touch get them hitting away the lens. Inside the engine it's got a factory pro sticker on it, so inside the gear change down there, behind there, oh yeah, Oberon slave cylinder. And it's a bit of a call out to Oberon there. I did actually question them on it. They did tell me pretty well. I'm not going to say get stuff. They just basically sent me the email saying, yeah, that's the way it is. Their anodizing is pretty shocking. That started off life as a red, obviously, slave cylinder, but as you can see, it's sort of got a pinky, rubbishy colour. So if you're going to get an Oberon slave cylinder, I would say get an alloy one, because it will just turn into alloy eventually anyway. But going back to the factory pro, there is in there a ceramic gear change bearing and one of their aftermarket springs, which makes the gear change a lot smoother than it used to be. And also, as you can see there is a quick shifter, which is a Heel-Tech. There's the control boxes around here somewhere. We'll get any things out of the way. So there's the Heel-Tech quick shifter there. So that's that. Obviously spatterings of carbon fibre over it. Some of it is the stock carbon fibre, some of it is aftermarket carbon fibre. One thing I've just actually done tonight, hence the video, is I've switched the rear master cylinder over. If you can see there, I hate, it's just my thing, if I can get away with having those little reservoir plastic cup things to minimalise things on the bike, that's what I tend to prefer if I can. And that is the rear master cylinder. There, that's the rear master cylinder from an RSV4, because I've got an RSV4, it's got one there already, so I've got another one, and that has bolted straight in pretty well. I had to just adjust the fork down at the bottom. I've just moved it over a little bit, but that is perfect, and it's really nice, because I've always had problems with the back brake binding and what have you. So that's gone on tonight. Future things that I'm going to do is, if I can get around the other half, the plan is to get some replacement fork cartridges. So I'm planning on getting some either Adriani fork cartridges, or if I can swing it, some K-Tech ones, which will probably make this thing handle like nobody's business. And this is the lightest bike out of all of the bikes I own. Well, bar my dad's 404, which is kind of reason on the cards. That's the kind of just a sentimental thing that is. But this thing, I've never weighed it, but I would say this probably is in the region of about 160 kilos because it's the easiest thing to push up my driveway. Anyway, that is my Hypermotard, obviously in quite a few pieces at the moment. Keep forgetting stuff before I finish. It has got an SC Project 2x2 exhaust, of which part of it's over there. But again, that'll be on there when it all goes back together. So I think that's about it. I'm saying that, I really mean that this time. Hopefully I won't have to shoot this again, but that is my kind of half in pieces Hypermotard. There you go. Cheers. Bye.